right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am Judge Emily White, candidate for the Arkansas Court of Appeals here in District 4, specifically Position 2. I just want to take an opportunity to introduce myself to those of you that may not know me. I know several of you have probably heard me speak before, but I'm going to give you a very brief version, if I can, of just my legal experience and my judicial experience and why I am the best candidate for this position. Currently, I serve on the 33rd State District Court. That's a 2-county district, including Hot Spring and Grant counties, where I hear criminal cases, I hear civil cases, I also hear all of the order of protection cases for both of our circuit courts in that district. I've been serving in that capacity almost 2 full years, pursuant to a gubernatorial appointment by Governor Hutchinson in March of 2018. I've also had the privilege of serving my state as a whole as a special associate justice on the Arkansas Supreme Court, and that was one of the more notable cases over the last 10 years. That was the medical marijuana opinion that was litigated in the summer of 2018. Prior to becoming a judge, however, I served our state in a very specific role. You see, I come to the bench with a bit of a different perspective, ladies and gentlemen. Before I became a judge, I was the Deputy Executive Director of the Arkansas Judicial Discipline and Disability Commission. And I served as their Deputy Director. That really just means that I was the prosecuting attorney for the agency. So for 5 years before I became a judge, serving my state, I was charged with one obligation and responsibility. I investigated and I prosecuted, if necessary, judges who committed ethical misconduct, from the Supreme Court down to local or part-time district court judges. I did that for 5 full years, and some in this room might say that I had a measure of success. I dealt specifically with the Mike Maggio case in Faulkner County. I also, some would say, single-handedly went into Cross County and changed the dynamic of that community by getting Joe Bachman off the bench and then giving my entire file to the Office of Public Integrity with the Department of Justice in D.C., and they were able to indict him on a 21-count indictment and send him to a federal penitentiary in the state of Texas. I will say that was a defining moment for me on the day that I was able to watch his federal sentence because he had disrupted that community for so long. But I came to Judicial Discipline and Disability Commission with a lot of criminal trial experience and civil trial experience. I graduated law school in 2001. I'm just a kid from Poland, went to law school in Little Rock. I became a Little Rock prosecuting attorney immediately, and I loved it. I tried general crimes, sexual assaults, and homicides that occurred on the streets of Pulaski County. I did that for roughly 3.5, 4 years. I worked 1 year in Saline. I don't want to leave my Saline County buddies out. But then I joined one law firm in Little Rock in 2005, and I worked at that law firm for 8 years. I loved it. I traveled into 6 other states practicing civil law. I managed multi-million-dollar cases for this firm, and I enjoyed it. I was able to bring all of my criminal experience, my civil experience to judicial discipline when I joined that agency, and now I serve as a full-time judge. I'm here today asking for your vote on March 3rd or February the 18th and any time up to March the 2nd. I thank you for the opportunity to be here, and I look forward to these questions. Gentlemen.
Okay, Glenn, were you first?
Yes. Do you believe it's the role of the appellate court to create new exceptions to the law, and why?
No, I do not. I do not believe that's the role of the appellate court. I do believe there's a difference in the role of the circuit court and the role of the appellate courts. The circuit court's job is to apply the law. On occasion, the appellate courts have to interpret what the law means. Now, our foundation of the law, of course, is our Constitution. That would be the United States Constitution or the Arkansas Constitution. That's where everything starts. Now, as we all know, I, as a judge, have an obligation. I have to follow the law. And the law can be the United States Constitution, the Arkansas Constitution. In my current capacity, it could be city ordinances of Malvern or city ordinances of Sheridan. All of our statutes that are passed by our legislature, things of that nature. I think that the appellate court's job may be to interpret, but not necessarily to create. Like Judge Welch said, that's the legislature's job. It's their job to create the law. And I believe in 3 very independent and separate branches of government. And I believe specifically that the judicial branch of government, they're the gatekeepers, so to speak. They're the checks and balances